welcome back to another video, or welcome if you're new here. If this is your first time ever watching one of our videos, please be sure to hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell so that you never miss an upload, and give us a thumbs up. In today's video, we are going to be sharing one of our best recipes for canned, homegrown, homemade salsa. So, hope you enjoy! So to start this canning process, Hector is going to boil the mason jars, the rings, and the lids for about 15 to 20 minutes, and what that's doing is sanitizing the jars and preparing them for storing and preservation. So we're going to start this recipe off with 2 banana peppers, fresh from the garden. He's going to core them. He's not really too concerned about leaving, the seeds in there. It's kind of where some of the spice comes from, but it's most important to core them, and then you're going to want to mince them really fine. Dice and mince them as well as you can. And honestly, it is just as far as preference. Some people like chunkier salsa, some others like very liquefied, pureed salsa. We kind of like it in the middle. We like a little bit chunky and a little bit juicy and pureed, so it's just a matter of preference. Now, I know what you're thinking. Banana peppers are usually yellow, but these were a very odd, very weird variety that we had gotten, and I'm not sure if this was like a cross-pollination with banana pepper and a different pepper. They definitely taste like a banana pepper with just like maybe a little bit more zing to it, so we call these our surprise bananas, or our surprise peppers, in case you're wondering. And we're going to add in 4 Santo Domingo Serrano peppers. Compared to traditional serranos, these are much larger. And next we're going to add in some jalapeno peppers. We're going to put 4 of those in there. And surprisingly enough, if you see here, there are some red ones in there. Jalapenos actually ripen to red. I did not know that until he started this recipe, so learning something new all the time. And here comes the real heat. We are putting in 8 habanero peppers. So yeah, this recipe in specific, it was pretty spicy, but honestly it was a tolerable spice. It wasn't to where your mouth was burning or anything like that. It was very well balanced, very sweet, very spicy. It was, if I could describe it, it was just very well balanced between the two temperatures. And now we're going to add in 7 to 8 hot cherry peppers. These peppers in specific are really interesting because some of them are sweet and some of them are pretty spicy. And so then we put in between 7 and 8, just depending on the size. Some of them can be fairly large and some of them are, pretty small. But yeah, so 7 to 8 of those. And next we're going to add in 2 gypsy mini bell peppers. These are so good. They are almost like, in my opinion, almost like a cross between a banana pepper and a traditional bell pepper as far as taste. It's a very interesting taste. And then we're going to add in, okay, this is per Hector. He told me to say that is not a large onion. That is a massive onion. So we're gonna add in one massive red onion. And honestly, this was one of the biggest onions we have grown. This was 1.4 pounds, and chopped, it created, I think it was 3 cups, or close to 3 1/4 cups of chopped onions. So it actually was massive. But so yeah, we're gonna add that in there. And next up, we're going to add in 1 large yellow onion. This was not grown in the garden, unfortunately. We didn't get any yellow onion production this year. We mostly focused on shallots and red onions. So this is theirs, not ours. And next we're going to add in 1 full large head of garlic. This actually wasn't grown in the garden either. That's actually going to be an upcoming video in the next couple of weeks. If you'd like to stay tuned for that, be sure you're subscribed and you have your notification bell clicked so that way you don't miss the upload. But yeah, this is our first time that we are going to be attempting to overwinter garlic. So you have to plant it in the fall, overwinter it, and then it sprouts in the spring. So stay tuned for that. Now onto the tomatoes. We did big beef tomatoes and Roma tomatoes, and I think in total we had about 32 or 34 tomatoes. So we had that broiling on high for about 10 minutes, and what that does is it helps the skin detach from the tomato so that you can peel the tomato, separate it, and get it ready for stewing. So you'll notice he didn't add in all the tomatoes right away. What he's doing here is taking the meat chopper to it, which by the way, the meat chopper is the best tool ever made for the kitchen. It has so many uses. But yeah, he separates the tomatoes just a little bit at a time to make sure that he's able to finely chop and crush everything. If you have all the tomatoes in the stock pot right away, it kind of makes it a little bit more difficult. You might end up with larger chunks than others. So then he went ahead and added in all the peppers that he had diced up previously, along with all the onions and garlic, and is taking the meat chopper to that as well. And now we're going to add in 1 cup of canning vinegar. This is the Mrs. Wages canning or pickling vinegar. And now we're adding in 2 tablespoons of the Mrs. Wages pickling salt. One tablespoon of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of cumin, one tablespoon of garlic powder, and 1 tablespoon of black pepper. And now he's going to add in all the juice from the tomatoes that was in the pan from them broiling. So he didn't add it in earlier just because it would have made it a little bit complicated trying to crush and chop everything there with the meat chopper in the pot had the liquid been in there. And now he's going to begin filling the jars. You want to fill them to about 1/4 of an inch to the brim. So you don't want to leave too much space for air in there. Think of it as you are vacuum sealing in a way, vacuum sealing these jars shut, which is what the hot water bath is for later on, is to seal them. So yeah, if you have too much air in there, it could make it a questionable seal. It probably won't preserve for as long, so 1/4 of an inch to the brim. And then he's just going to give all of these jars a quick stir just to make sure there's no air bubbles before putting on all the lids and prepping them for the hot water bath. Now that the jars are nice and fastened, we are going to place them in the canner for the hot water bath, and they will sit in here for about 25 minutes simmering. And what this will do is it will seal the jars airtight, which will make for a great preservation of about 12 to 18 months. And the simmer time will depend on your elevation. So I will put the website here on the screen for you so that you can use that to check how long your simmer time needs to be depending on your elevation. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye!